What's up, Swing Trader Snacks here. We're going to jump in and do our watch list for Tuesday, September 23rd. And look, guys, most of our watch list has triggered in the last week or two, and many of them already hitting profits, right? We got out of Oklo, RMBS, and what was the other one we took? Oh, the housing, the home builder stock. It was like KHB, KBH, something like that. But anyways, we got out all those last week, right, before the Fed. Some of them we should have held. Frickin' Oklo sold at 82. It's at like 130 something, 140. Unreal. I was happy with this trade. Oh, wow. Wow. My goodness. Anyways, guys, a lot of the watch list that we've been talking about the last few weeks has already triggered. These are trades you should be in at this point. So there's just not a lot left to trigger for our triple R without a pullback in the market. And before we jump in and look at the indices here, like we're ripping, guys. We're ripping. So a pullback in the market would be healthy. It would reset the majority of our watch list for entries. We've got a lag here in RSP, the equal weighted, so a little bit of a concern there. But look, still super clean structure, very, very bullish structure, still above the 50. No cause for concern, but it's, I would say, let's check out the equally weighted here. And yeah, so looks like the mega caps are pulling us, the Mag 7. Maybe not quite full market participation. We are testing that all-time high level again here in small caps. It'd be nice to see it clear through there and get some legs. But look, guys, as I said, most of our watch list is already triggered, but we do have, looks like about 6 here that I am interested in. We're looking at FUTU here for a retracement reaction at around our level, remount of the 9. So let's see how this thing acts off the 50, its first real test of it in about 6 months. And we've got Celsius as well, same look to it here. Okay, so we got a big gap up on earnings and it run away, right? And it's our first real pullback. So let's see if we can get a reaction at this level. If we invalidate this gap, I wouldn't love that. So I'd like to see some buyers step in here. If they do and we get it back over the 9, I like it a lot. It's been on my watch list for quite a while. As we tried to bounce up over and didn't get it and started to pull back again, it's been on my watch. So it looks like about a week at least, right? Definitely been talking about it. So looking for that guy to give us a trigger. Very easy to stay out if it doesn't, right? We don't force anything. This is if this then that models. DraftKings is a box breakout that I'm looking at. I want to get a piece, a quarter size over the 50, and then I want it to break out of this 6-month consolidation. Might be even more than that. It's about a year. Yeah, pretty much a 1-year consolidation on a prior trender. Okay, something that has shown us an ability to move, going sideways for at least 6 months, creating this consolidation box. Break out of it. Pullback retest of the box, I would go to full size. So I'm looking for a quarter size over the 50, let it break out, pullback retest, hold, show strength, right? Confirm the breakout, start to push higher again, and we'll go up to full size. Amazon is one that I am very interested in. All right, so I've got these arrows in here for anyone who didn't see the last few watch list videos, right? We're sort of getting a mirror of last year, right? So we get a gap down on earnings in August, okay? But that got immediately invalidated. This is actually one of my 6 models, one of my 5 continuation models. So you've got a trender that gets an overreaction to news or a earnings release. You get a gap down reversal play, right? And you look for it to breach the top end of the gap down candle and close the gap and possibly get back onto trend, which it did do last year, and we got a trade off. So it did that again here this year, right? So August gap down, it invalidated it almost immediately and got us back onto trend. And then as well, we've got the rate cut cycle starting just as it did last year, September 17th, right? I mean, literal mirror here of last year's price action on my trade for Amazon, and I'm looking to place it again. So back over the 9 here after this 50 retest, I got to take it. All right, I got to take it, and I will probably use AMZU as the vehicle, which is the 2x leverage ETF of Amazon. Pay is an IPO cycle play. Let's look at this on the weekly so you can really see what I see here. Look at that sexy IPO cycle, putting in cup and handle. Got some accumulation volume coming in over the 9 here. This is something I need to take a swing at. Same idea as the box breakout. I want to get a quarter size over the 9, let it break out, pull back, confirm. hold, confirm, and start to push back again, and I would load up to full size. And I'd like to get some longer term, possibly somewhere around a year out contract on this to realize a larger move, because same idea as the box breakout, we are looking for the price range of this IPO cycle to repeat up and to the right. Go look at the leaders or join my boot camp where we just covered this. Fantastic session the other day. In my opinion, we went through a ton of these plays. I'll show you a couple. PRM. Look at this. This is a... All right, I'm only going to show you one. Come to boot camp. Guys, you get me leaning over your shoulder for 60 days, teaching you all 6 of my models that have me up over 180% on the year, well on track, especially Q4. We're getting well over 200%, tripling the account in 2025, guys, and I will teach you all 6 of my models, 5 of which are continuation plays on the leaders. And then we have a narrative play that's a bit more fun. We get to speculate a bit, but we still do it within structure. Anyways, this is the IPO play. We had 24 of them we went through the other day on the leaders. These things work so well. You get an IPO cycle, a change in character, right? And you get it to break out of the IPO cycle box, breach the IPO high, pull back, retest it, hold that show strength. You buy that, and I mean, the idea is that it repeats the price range within the time range. So literally you could just clone the IPO cycle box and expect this on the leaders to repeat. So you get the breakout here, and look, guys, we're going to realize that price range very likely well before the time that it took to put in that IPO cycle. But it's just the timeline that I like to put on it, right? The expectancy. But look, guys, I'm not going to go through the things you should be coming and joining bootcamp to see. But look, guys, don't lose all your money, okay? Leverage a mentor, whether it's myself or someone else. But guys, the markets are a brutal teacher, okay? You need someone to actually hold your hand, teach you some models, and make you stick to it, teach you the proper risk management that it takes to not only make money, but keep it and compound it over time. And that is what we do. You get me personally, back and forth, one-on-one, for 60 days. I can't think of a better deal out there. All right, and so to finish up and just to show you again here, so that is what we're looking for on pay, right? IPO cycle, I'd like to get a quarter size, let it break out, pull back, retest, hold, show strength, and we'll go up to full size there on pay. And then we've got AMD is something that is invalidating that news, right? So they got that big gap down on news of, it was like an NVIDIA, Intel partnership, something of that sort, and we got sort of a negative reaction to it, but immediately it got bought up. Back over the 50, AMD is worth a swing. Got a strong company in a trend backed by growing fundamentals. You get a retracement reaction at around a level. Remount of the 50 here on AMD is the trigger. PRM does look attractive. Oh, that's the one we just did. Yeah, and then the other way, if you do miss the IPO cycle, right, if you just didn't pull the trigger or whatever, a lot of times they turn into triple R traders for quite a while. Once they do break out a cycle, you can just see how strong they become. Here was the first triple R right here that worked, and also likely could have been your entry for triple R. But guys, it's setting up again here, and we'll finish up here with Netflix, guys. I'm looking for it to clear recent range and with targets of prior highs and all-time highs above. Netflix has a good look to it, and again, you could use NFLU. You could use this as a cheaper way to get into it, but I just like the leverage, right? But it is a cheaper way to play the same name. It is twice as volatile, so do respect your risk. Guys, we just need a pullback in the market, and our entire Focus 50 is going to reload, and we're going to crush Q4. Until then, we remain patient, and we are not going to force it. I do want to mention really quickly that I have a narrative play on my radar, and it is robotics, okay? We've got the ETF breaking out here. I want to see some strength. RR is absolutely ripping away, okay? And then we've got some other names here, such as SYM, sort of taking off here. So what I want, guys, is I want to pull back. I want to see strength off of our first pullback in robotics, and we may look to get into one of these for a fresh narrative play. I think robotics has legs. All right, guys, stay safe, manage your risk, and let's go make some money.